Hey, it's Josh.
And Aaron,
We would like your help to grow our channel.
if we can grow to 8,000 subscriptions,
We're going to give you this Indominus box.
the rules are simple. Subscribe to the channel now, and when we reach 8,000 subscribers, we're going to put out a special thank you video. Everybody who comments on that video will be entered to win this Indominus box.
Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell button.
Will people follow?
I hope so.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of I Should Be Painting. This week we are doing things a little bit different. First of all, here is our subscriber count. We are so close to hitting that 8,000 subscribers, so if you are not subscribed, subscribe now so that we can give away this Indominus box set. Can't wait to give it away, and I can't wait to hit 8,000 subscribers. As you can see, we are not in front of the bookcase. Instead, we are starting out in my office, and we're going to stay in my office the entire time because I received a question from one of our viewers who says, any advice for storing / transporting 15mm metal miniatures? And that comes off of Starhawks 1 from our most recent video, This Old 40K episode 16, Miniature Hobby Essentials. Now, I've been a miniature gamer for a very long time, and so have all my friends, and I have gone through a lot of different storage systems. And in fact, I currently use a lot of different storage systems and transportation systems simultaneously. So I thought I would take an adventure on the interweb because I don't have access to my studio at the moment, and we'll take a look at all of the different storage systems that I recommend, why I think some of them are good, why I think some of them are bad, and you can decide for yourself which storage system is best to use.
We are going to be starting out at the Games Workshop webpage with the Games Workshop solution for storage cases, and not too long ago they came out with a fairly revolutionary idea. I don't know where they got the idea from. I'm sure that they found it somewhere, but they've definitely implemented it, and that is they use a hard case with a zigzag foam. And I have to say that I really like the zigzag foam. I don't know if I would necessarily buy it from Games Workshop, but if you are looking for a just standard case that is going to hold the largest number of miniatures in the safest way possible, then this is not a bad place to start out. It is a bit expensive at $138. You do get a hard case and you do get these custom trays with the zigzag foam, but the zigzag foam does a really good job of holding lots of different types of miniatures, and that's what's key about this. This case is flexible. It allows you to use it for multiple different armies, where oftentimes you can get stuck with one army. If you'd like to read a fantastic review of this case, you can go ahead and head over to A Galaxy in Flames. I will have the link below where they do a fantastic unboxing of this particular product. They compare it to the old clamshell cases, and they also show how miniatures fit. Now right here, this is what I'm talking about. This is the old standard of miniature storage where you get some random square design and it never quite fit anything perfectly. As opposed, now you get the zigzag, which can expand and contract and contort in order to fit multiple size miniatures. That being said, you still run into problems like this, and I have had this same problem where, yeah, you can get a whole bunch of different stuff in there, but they all still don't quite fit perfectly, and you can still be applying pressure onto delicate pieces in a way that is, let's say, not great. But it is definitely a big step up from your old standard of just rectangles. So this is definitely an option if you're looking for flexibility, a hardback case, if you want to be able to store ships right along next to your dreadnoughts. This is a pretty good way to go. I personally do not have the Citadel version, but I do have another brand version, and I have bought zigzag foam, and I have found it to be fairly reliable and fairly useful. I also found this article to be quite on par with my own personal feelings about this type of case. Next case I want to feature is probably the favorite cases that I own and the cases that I am starting to use the most, and that is the display tower from TableWar. Now, you might be familiar with TableWar for their fat mats. They make a whole bunch of amazing mouse pad style gaming mats. If you're not familiar with them, that would blow my mind. But they also make tower cases, and they have these tower cases in a variety of different sizes. They have big ones and they have small ones, and they all are synergistic with each other. So the way that these cases work is they operate on two levels. One, they operate as a display case, but they also operate as a transportation case. You start out with a metal base, and then you apply a plastic insert on top of that, and you can get different shapes and sizes, and then by putting magnets on the bottom of your miniatures, you can create these trays. And what's really nice about all of these different trays is that they fit all of the different display cases. So you can fit them in your really big display case that's going to carry, let's say, a 2,500 point army, or you can fit them in your little mini case in order to take your kill team, which just happens to be a couple of your orcs. And at the same time, they function as a really nice display case where people can come up and take a look at your armies without actually interacting with them. The other fantastic thing about these cases is that they have thought about storage for the other necessities of gaming, specifically your dice and your books, and they include little trays and shelves in the bottom of the cases. Some of them even have cup holders on the side. Yeah, Doug. One I got doesn't have a cup holder. What happened to my cup holder, Doug? So I'm really enjoying these. I have two that I'm actively using, and there is this fantastic video which is called TableWar Army Showcase Eldar. So as you can see here, you can do some really fantastic things with the case. It's very flexible. Here we have an entirely beautifully painted Eldar army. They've taken that sliding tray and they've turned it into a display base that can slide in and out of it. You can then carry this safely to a convention or to your local game store. You can open it up, you can get things out, you have access to your dice and your trays and all of your little things, and you can also close it up and still let people see how beautifully painted your army is without actually letting anybody touch your army. So I think this is a fantastic option. However, there is one downside to this. If you are talking about packing up your miniatures so that you can ship them in a shipping container through the mail, then this is not a shipping case. And really neither is this, okay? We are talking about transporting your figurines from your house to your gaming store, or maybe into an overhead compartment. I mean, all of these things are good for doing that, but we're not talking about shipping them in a box through UPS to your cousin's house. If you're going to ship stuff in a box to your cousin's house, you're going to want to wrap that. And that's a whole nother category of things. So just be aware that I wouldn't use any of these cases for shipping internationally. Another company that I have used a lot is Battle Foam. And Battle Foam has the PACK, P-A-C-K edition cases. These come in a variety of sizes. Now these are all soft back cases, and they come from small bags to big bags. I think I have, I'm gonna say four of these cases, two of which I bought personally, two of which have come with armies that I have bought before. And this is a really good option as well. They kind of specialize though in knowing exactly what you want, meaning you pick what size army you have, and then you pick custom battle foam. And this battle foam is specifically designed oftentimes to hold a specific army. You can even have them custom cut. My original 1850 point Space Marine army from 5th edition has its own battle foam pack with custom cut foam, and I will never do that again. Ever, because that army changed over time, and I wanted to use that foam for other things over time, and I actually wound up cutting the foam apart and making it more useful for a variety of different things. So while I really like these cases, I would stick with Pluck Foam or Zigzag Foam or Square Foam. I mean, unless you're 100% sure and you want the exact fit on all of your models, so I don't know exactly how precious that model is to you, but if you need an exact fit and you want to make sure that it is absolutely not going to move, getting a custom cut foam from Battle Foam in a Battle Foam case may be an option that's right for you. This is pretty typical of a lot of the cases that I have. They're just kind of rectangles. Again, they never quite fit everything perfectly, and the miniatures wind up moving about a lot in them, and I usually end up packing like toilet paper or tissue paper on top of the miniatures to stop them from moving if I have to ship them a super long distance. Let's change gears for a second. Let's move into DIY cases and DIY systems for moving your miniatures. And for that, you can head right on over to Amazon and you can take a look at this product. This product is called Pluck Foam. Pluck Foam is exactly how it sounds. It is a square or rectangle size foam that is pre-cut with with a grid, and then you can literally pluck out the individual pieces that you want to specifically hold the miniatures that you have. You can then put that Pluck Foam into a hardback case, into a backpack, into a cardboard box, or you can stick them into a plastic storage box. And I'm sure you're aware there is any size plastic storage box that you could possibly want. I particularly like smaller ones, maybe 1.5 feet by 1 foot or 2 feet by 2 feet. Typically I like them to have a handle on top, but this one works perfectly well. The other thing that you can do is you can buy these small cookie trays and you can literally bolt these inside of your cookie box in order to create a magnetic platform, then put magnets on the bottom of your miniatures, and voila, you have a magnetic customizable tray that you can either use Pluck Foam with or that you can use magnets with. And I happen to have one such case right here. This is one that I use for my Marvel Crisis Protocol army. Again, it is just a plastic tray with a cookie sheet in the bottom, and it is magnetic. And as you can see, I can tip it just like with the TableWar cases. And I have a fantastic, cheap, easy to make carrying case that I can switch out whichever miniatures I want in, particularly good for skirmish games. And depending on what type of plastic boxes you get, some of them are even stackable. So that is a fantastic DIY method, whether you want to use magnets or if you want to use Pluck Foam. I found a fantastic website for Wings of War, and as you can see, they are showing off that Games Plus product, which again is right here on Amazon for $10.99, and then they show exactly how they laid out and designed their Pluck Foam to hold their miniature airplane army, and then they put it inside of what? A nice little plastic case. This is one that has a handle on top and it looks like it's stackable. That is a fantastic way to go about it. These are all methodologies that I use all the time. Well, Starhawk 1, I hope that answers your question. What advice do I have for storing and transporting a 15mm metal miniature? I don't know if that was more information that you wanted or if it wasn't enough. Once again, just to go over it, there is your standard hard cases with flexible zigzag foam, which can hold a variety of different miniatures, but can be a bit problematic for getting the exact right spacing. We also, of course, have the display tower from TableWar, which is some of my favorite cases because you can build these beautiful dioramas and carry them around and have not only a carrying case, but also a display case that carries all of your knickknacks that go along with it. There's also cases like Battle Foam, which are soft pack cases, which are very versatile in terms of you can buy small ones or you can buy big ones. And more importantly, you can either make or purchase custom fitting foam for your specific army if that's something that you're interested in, although it does get a bit expensive. And then lastly, we have our DIY do-it-yourself system where you can buy some foam, a plastic bucket, a baking sheet, and then you can just make yourself something like this. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this episode of I should be painting, and I absolutely should be painting. Until next time, this has been Aaron from the Cool Guys Nation. Remember to like and subscribe, hit that bell button so we never miss an update. If you want to take your patronage to the next level, check out our Patreon in the notes below. Otherwise, as always, we'll see you on the table. Where are we gonna see you?